You know me, I'm the queen of casseroles. I love a good casserole, so why not turn my love of pizza into a great pizza casserole? This one is super fun, and I think that the family will absolutely love it. So we're having fun on today's show, some fun noodles. Sure, you could use penne or ziti, but I love these fun corkscrew noodles, rotini, so we're gonna do one box of rotini noodles. And this makes a big batch, this casserole. So, Ann, I was looking for my salt to salt my pasta water. Anyway, is it there?
Oh, it's by the pepper.
There it is. Okay, so a little bit of salt in with my pasta. That's really the only way to season that pasta when you're boiling it. So I'm going to get that going. And I don't want to overcook the pasta. Whenever you're doing pasta, potatoes or rice in a casserole, it's really best to undercook them because it's going to bake again in the oven. This is a fun one. It is a make-ahead. So if you are having a pizza party and you want to serve this dish, you could certainly put it together or most of it together, even up to a day or two ahead, and then just park it into your fridge until you're ready to bake it. So, all right, 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm going to get going here. And I just want to cook this beef until it's crumbly and no longer pink. And I'm going to add a little bit of onion in with the beef just to give it some nice flavor. So, I don't know if I ever told this story before, but my son Riley is such a pizza nut that we had a few days off for, I think it was some sort of a school break, and this was years ago, but it wasn't quite like a full week. We didn't really have a full week, but we maybe had a 3 or 4 day weekend, and we decided, well, you know what, let's do something different. Let's go on a pizza tour of Chicago. So we packed up the kids, and we had this great plan that we were going to go see some museums and, you know, take on some of the sights of Chicago, and then every day try and eat at a couple of different pizza places, like for lunch and dinner. And then at the end of the week, we kind of compare and see what our favorites were. Fun idea, right? I mean, how fun is that? And it was winter, so you got to break things up, do something different. So we researched and we picked some of the different, you know, Chicago is known for amazing pizza. So we, you know, Googled them. I don't even know if they had Google back then, but anyway, we did the research and we came up with like 5 or 10 places that we wanted to try. So the first night we get into town, and we go to this place, and it was great pizza. It was the Chicago deep dish with the sauce on top, lots of cheese, and I think it was Lou Molinari's. And I might have asked you guys, and you guys gave me suggestions. Again, this was probably a good 10 years ago. Well, that night we went back to our hotel, and Riley woke up in the middle of the night. Well, he was sicker than a dog. I mean, high fever, coffee. None of us could sleep in the hotel. And at about 5 in the morning, we rushed him to the emergency room. And let's just say our pizza trip got cut a little bit short. Pneumonia. So we packed it up, got him comfortably in the car, got back to Green Bay, took him to the doctor, and the pizza tour, an abrupt end. So I am bound and determined to bring back the pizza tour again if I can get the 2 kids' schedules coordinated, and I want to do it again sometime because it really was a great idea. We only got to one place though. So next time I hope it goes a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to season up my ground beef with some garlic salt, give it some nice flavor, some oregano, and some Italian seasoning. Basil. You can get one of those blends, or if you just have dried basil, parsley, that'll work too. Oh, my director Greg told me that we have a picture of Ireland. I was just talking about Riley, but my daughter Ireland did this really neat thing on Valentine's Day. It's called, it was called Guy Girl Dance. Ireland's on the high school dance team, and here she is with one of her dance team members, Elizabeth. So on Friday night during the basketball game, each of the girls on the dance team was paired with a senior guy who all week long, the guy and the girls, the dance team, had practiced the routine. So, you know, it was actually very, very good, very funny, and the guys kind of hammed it up, but they performed the show, I guess, during the halftime of the Notre Dame basketball game on Friday night. And it was so cute. It was kind of a flapper number, super cute. So I wanted to show you a picture of that. Okay. Beef is looking great. So at this point, I'm going to add 2 jars of your favorite spaghetti sauce, whatever's on sale. I'm using 2 jars because we've got quite a bit of pasta. This is going to serve a crowd, at least 6, and probably some leftovers. Now, one of my tricks to getting every little last bit of the pasta sauce out of there, throw a little water in there. And give it a shake. And that'll get every little last bit of that spaghetti sauce out of the jar. And then it'll also be all ready for the recycling bin. So, great way to use every little last bit of that sauce. I'm also going to make this store-bought spaghetti sauce. Enhance the flavor a little bit, and this is something my mom used to always do when she was making spaghetti sauce at home, homemade. A little bit of dry white or red wine can really take that store-bought spaghetti sauce to a whole nother level. If you don't want to cook with wine, not a big deal, you can leave it out, but the alcohol is going to cook out and you're just going to be left with some nice flavor. All right, so I'm just going to let that simmer a little bit. How's our pasta doing? It's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. All right, so I've got a great big 9 by 13 casserole dish, and I want to spray it with cooking spray, and actually spray it with cooking spray. And I love this olive oil cooking spray. It really works nicely. We're going to drain our pasta. And by the way, I didn't really mention some of the other pizza-inspired things that we're making on today's show. I got so excited about the show that we are also making a wonderful pizza dip, which is perfect for movie night or, you know, having people over after work, or a fun dip for the kids. We're also making pizza soup, which is such a quick fix. You kids walk in the door after a long day and you say, hey, we're having pizza soup for dinner tonight. Watch them light up. And it's one of those super quick fixes. You can throw it together in a minute. It's like a slice of pizza in a bowl. So just some fun pizza-inspired recipes. And we're making French bread pizzas, too. Okay, so in goes our pasta into our sauce. Turn off the heat at this point and just make sure that the pasta gets all mixed together with the sauce. And I'm just going to dump, this is going to be heavy, dump that right in there. How good does that look? Very kid-friendly dish, too. I mean, what kid doesn't like pizza? And then you say we're having a pizza casserole again. This is another really fun one. Now, got to cheese this baby up, don't we, Ann?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just using some shredded mozzarella cheese that I'm going to sprinkle over the top. And it just depends how much cheese you want to throw on there. More. We'll really cheese it up. And now, the recipe calls for your favorite pizza toppings. Well, you got to see the one that we're pulling out of the oven because you're going to get a giggle out of it. We're going to throw, you know, whatever your family loves and just put it on top like you would a pizza. So we've got some pepperoni. We've got some black olives. Those are some of the things that I'd put on my pizza anyway. Maybe some green pepper, some mushrooms. Okay, so this is the fun part, is the crust. So for the crust, I just took some a tube of refrigerated breadsticks that come in the tube. And this is going to be the crust for our pizza. I mean, it'd be fine to serve just like this, but this is what really makes it fun. So you just take the breadsticks And you give them a little twist. And just put them around the casserole. And they're really easy to work with. They'll just kind of go wherever you tell them to go. They don't look like much now, but wait till you see how cute it looks when it comes out of the oven. Any kid is going to light up when they see this. Serve this with a great big salad, and you've got dinner, and that's why I love my casseroles. So it bakes in the oven. Now, if you're making it ahead of time, I wouldn't do the toppings until, maybe right before you bake it. So you can get to the point where you've got the pasta and the meat sauce all done and it's all in there, and then cheese it up and put the toppings on right before baking. For sure, you don't want to put the breadsticks on until right before baking. Okay, look at this, and look at Anne's pizza. So the recipe says, make it according to what you like on your pizza. Anne says, just pepperoni, please. For me, I do the supreme and load it up, but Anne's pretty excited about this. Just pepperoni. And you know what? My son Riley is right there with you. Just pepperoni on his pizza too.